Hey everyone, it's Tiffany from Let's Get Scrappy, and I have a Country Craft Creations design team project to share with you today. This is using up or trying to use up my scraps from this exclusive Country Craft Creations Midnight Manor collection. I had the 8x8 and I was trying to smash this stash, which is really hard to do with Country Craft Creations collections because you get so many papers. So I still have, I don't know, maybe like eight sheets left. So I have plenty to make some cards and tags. So I don't know. We will see. It's really hard to smash her stashes because there's just so much. I'm just saying, so much. So I made a quick little folio and I have a tutorial, and hopefully, because I've already done this video, and if you guys follow me, you know that I don't know how to edit. And I said, I'm going to do a tutorial at the end. And then I finished the video and realized I forgot to do the tutorial. So hopefully I do it on this one. And if I don't, then there's going to be two different videos. So that's all I'm going to say to it. But this is a quick 5x7, you know, like little card folio. I say card because it's a great gift to give somebody that's a little bit more than a card, a little bit less than like a mini album because there's no chipboard or anything, but still substantial to be a great gift. So here is the cover, which I went totally overboard again. And I love, this was one of my favorite sheets. I loved it. I was like, I had to have it. And then I glued everything down and I did not love what I did. But we are going with it. There's just a lot. There's a lot going on. And truthfully, I wish I would have used this on the front. She kills me. And then had like my cluster and everything here because I really like this corner. But of course I didn't. So what do? We just make it work. I'm not redoing anything. I'm not throwing nothing away. It's still nice. It's just not something I love. And I like to love my stuff. But I did use a lot of things from my stash, you know, with the flowers and the leaves, the spider web. The tags are cut aparts in the collection. This is on the die cut sheet, this little sentiment. I don't know if you guys can actually see what it says, but I did layer it up a couple times and then popped it up on foam tape. And then I'll see if it's still available, but I did use this from Country Craft Creations. It's kind of like a pumpkin sheen color, but it works perfect with the butterflies and the warm colors in this collection. So I wanted to just shake it up a little bit and I'll show you what I'm talking about. But in this collection, my previous project was cool tones. This one is warm tones. So I'll show you that in a second. And then I did use a spider web border punch that I had in my stash. And I just trimmed it down a little bit. But I do have two different ribbon closures here. It opens up like this. And I just kind of put together the design sheets that to me spoke to me. So, you know, this layout, you see the pinks and the oranges with the yellows. And then I love it with the haunted, you know, mansion manor poking out right there. And then you open up like this and you have a little bit warmer colors versus the bright fluorescent pink. So this just kind of softens in the center here. So I just made a little tuck spot with using that border punch that I had. This is from the die sheet. I matted it on black, so you can also journal a little thing on the back of that if you want to. And then I just kept it clean. Again, this is a quick project. This is not where you can make it, you know, tons of stuff, but you have the option to if you want to. I do have a 1/2 inch gusset, so there is lots of space if you want to can't even talk. If you want to add more or add more flips and flaps to this, you can. So in the center, we have a little flap here, and this is from the die cut sheet. I cut it out after mounting it to black cardstock first, and then flips up like so, and I added another one to the back. And this is open, just as a tuck spot. If you want to put a photo underneath, you can. But they have nice room, great spot for 4x4, or if you want to do it a little bit bigger, you can. And then we have here in the pocket a couple of the tags from the tag sheet. And I did mount these on black cardstock so you can journal on the back. And then I just use my little mini tiny attacher to staple the ribbon down and just secure it with some art glitter glue. And then just a photo mat using, but that is 4 1/8 by 6 1/8 so that you can fit a 4x4 photo exactly. I try to as much as possible. I don't know why my head always has to, but I like for photos just to go down. You know, I'm not one who could just do random, for the most part, you know, not saying I've never done it, but I try not to do random sizes. Unless it's like to a scrapper, you know, that knows how to like do all that. But I did, you know, again, fussy cut this out of, off the die sheet and mounted it on black cardstock. Just again, adding some elements from my stash. And I do have a magnetic closure in the, this part. Is it in this part? No, it is on the actual flap. And then this just closes up like so. Oh, and I did want to show you on like the butterfly. I try to, if possible, if I'm fussy cutting, I like my fussy cuts to be sturdy. So I try to mount them on cardstock first, then do one fussy cut versus doing it twice unless I need a border. But that's what I did with this one, and then I can just, you know, pinch it up. Gives it a little bit dimension, but it's very sturdy. So it's really hard to get damaged. Okay, Tiffany, do not forget the quick tutorial. So let me just tie this back up. But I do want to show you guys the first project that I made, which was a large folio. I'm struggling with my bow right now. And just so you can see the difference of how you can, you know, just sometimes looking at collections from a different perspective, you can get different uses out of them. But this is the large one that I made from the same exact collection. Just this was more the cool tones here with the grays. This had more of the warm tones. And I went crazy on both covers, just a little overboard. This one's killing me. What is all that stuff? You know when you're watching a video and somebody is adding their things, decorating it on the film, and you're like, no, stop, don't do anymore, don't do anymore. And then they just keep going. Yeah, that's what I did. So, you know, happens to me too. But we don't stop there. We just keep going. You know, I'm not throwing that away. It's not that bad. Okay, so here's what we need. I did use I had some scraps on my desk, so I used 80-pound cardstock, but Artisan cardstock will work for this, and I do have some. I literally use scraps, so they're kind of all different blacks for this, you know, tutorial, just so you guys know in case it shows up on camera. I don't know, but so you're gonna have one piece. This is the left side that is 7 by 11. We're gonna score at 1/2, 5 1/2, and then 9. And then your next piece will be the right side, and you score, or it's a 7 by 11 again, score it at 1/2, 5 1/2, and 6. And we are just going to go ahead and do that right now. So we're going to, let me get my tools. Okay. So because we don't have chipboard, I tried to either use Artisan cardstock, which is a little bit heavier, or like this 80-pound. You can use like my color cardstock from Country Craft Creations. That there's some that are 100 pounds. Just again, I like things to be sturdy, and I like things to last, especially if I'm gifting it to anyone. And then we're just bending this one back the other direction to create our little pocket. So give that a good little burnish to crease it. So that is one side. Now let's fold our score lines on the other piece that looks like this here. I'm trying to see, I think that is going to go there. I want that to fold up a different direction. Yes. I'm just looking at my bumps, so I want it to go the other way when I get it done. So a good crease, just keep folding on all 3 of these lines. Like I said, this is a really quick tutorial. But pretty much all of my tutorials, you can make them even more. Like you can add whatever you want and make it your own. Okay, so now we have these pieces. These 2 we're going to glue together. And when we do it, I really pay attention to the score line right here. I do not want to impede on that score line at all. So I typically like just come off a little bit of the score line. It looks like I have to trim. So I'm fine if that ends up being a little bit wider than 1.5 inches, then half an inch, because I came over a little bit. That's okay. That's better than it fighting when you go to fold it. So, trying to think, yes. I'm trying to hurry and do this. This is late Monday night. I don't even know what day today is, the 12th. But I have to fly again tomorrow, people. I know, like, you guys would think I had some glamorous job or something because I'm always flying. I sound like a flight attendant or something like that. But it's literally just for Macy's. Macy's Beauty. I have 4 states, 23 stores. So Washington State, Idaho, Montana, and Oregon. And we have a new leader, so she's trying to see all 23 of our stores. So I'm traveling with her, and we are almost done. After this week, we'll just have to go to Bozeman, which I don't even know if I'll be able to go with her because I have the retreat coming up for Country Craft Creations. And then Bend, Oregon, we haven't flown into because a lot of our stores are remote. And some of them, there's like only one. I don't know how people can survive. There's only 1 flight in, 1 flight out for the day. It's really crazy that it's like that. Okay, so let me just, I don't like having glue on my thing. That's all you do. That is the base of our little folio. Okay, so this is the front. Folds up like this. Little trifold folio. So let's glue down. I'm sorry, I'm flipping and flapping all over the place. Not paying attention to what I'm doing. So we're just going to glue this down. You can add gussets here if you want the full depth of the pocket. You would just take, this is a 2-inch pocket. You would take 2 scraps that are 1 inch by a little bit less than 2, so you don't, again, impede on that fold right there. Score them in half, and then just add those inside, and you have the full depth of the pocket if you want to. Okay, so there is that. Now let's add our little flap. What did I do with my large scissors? That's weird. And I just cleaned up before I did this. So much for that. That is very strange. I know they're right in front of me because you know how it goes when you're looking for everything and it's literally right in front of you, but for some reason, you know, we cannot see things in our craft rooms. Okay, let me try to put this here. So I just mitered the corners. You don't have to. It's just something I like to do. So if you forget to do it, it is not that big of a deal. Crafting should be fun. Don't stress out over crafting, making mistakes, which you guys know I make them all the time. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys some, oh, I forgot to tell you the measurements of this one, even though you can see it. We'll talk through that in just a second here. So I feel like I didn't make this smaller. So this piece for the flap, I put a little arrow because it always reminds myself to cut it a little bit less than 5 inches because the width of this is 5 inches. And again, I don't want things to impede on my folio folding up. So we're just going to test it out before I need to see if I need to trim it a little bit more. That seems to work perfectly there. And you would know, like, you wouldn't be able to fold it up like this if it did. It would kind of like bow out, you know, like that type of thing. But it's fine. So I did shave that just a little bit, less than 5 by 6 inches, turned it, scored a 1/2 inch on the 6 to give us our nice little hinge here. And then we have our little pocket, which is 2.5 by 6, score on 3 sides. Again, just grabbing scraps off my table. We are going to miter these corners. You guys can't see, but I'm still trying to like look for my large scissors. Are they behind me? No. That is just the strangest thing. So I literally just had them. Oh my goodness. I know as soon as like I turn the video off, they're gonna be right there in my face. Oh, it's driving me crazy. Okay, sorry. So again, just mitering these corners. So I always just cut right at the cross. You can't really see that, but there you go. Just like so. Okay, and just when someone asks, no, this is not real, this is Hobby Lobby, you too can have one for $19.99. I like costume jewelry. I don't ever wear my real wedding ring. I haven't for like years. And I love costume jewelry, so I like different looks. So don't think I'm some Kardashian over here. Don't be trying to come here and get this ring. It is definitely Hobby Lobby. Go to Hobby Lobby. Okay, so I just want to show you guys something here. This, I wasn't paying attention when I scored it. And again, on here, I want to score a little bit less than 5. So I'm going to put this back in my scoreboard because I don't want it to bump on those edges. And we are just going to just slightly go over to where you can get a little bit less than the scores we had. And it's okay if it's more than you wanted to, because again, we just make it work. So I'm going to correct my miter at the edge, like so. Okay, now you have to force this one when it's that close to a crease you already have. And there we go. Okay, so now this should fit just fine. And yes, it does. So let's add some glue. For me, this is just, again, my preference. I like to add to the bottom first. Sometimes I forget to do this method, but if I'm not putting decorative paper all the way down in my pocket, and most of the time I do not, because why waste paper that nobody can see, is my motto. Even though I have tons of paper, I don't like wasting it still. So I just take some Scotch tape, come in, and I'm going to place that down so my photo mat will not get stuck on that. And I just press the ends. I don't press really hard right there on the seam. And now I'm just going to glue up the sides, and we are basically done with the tutorial. So I'm glad I didn't mess this one up. I really contemplated, do I just do the tutorial separate? But I was like, oh my gosh, it's such a quick one. I could redo the video, which normally I don't do. I think I've only done that like 2 times. The 2 years. Has it been 2 years? Yeah, 2 years that I've been doing my YouTube channel. Okay, so we have that. And then you have your photo mat that we're just going to tuck right in there. Your tags when you do them. Now when I do my magnets, I put my magnet here to see where it goes, but a trick you can do too with a pencil, but I'll do it with this white pencil, is just make a line where that, this drops, and you know how much space you have to add like a magnet. So you could just, I would do it in the middle, but you could just, mark a little X and say, oh, I want a magnet there. But you don't have to use a magnet at all. It's up to you. Okay, and then we have this photo mat in here, and we are done. There you guys go. So I add my trim on this side. I love this Tim Holtz ruler. It's my favorite. So you can eyeball it, and I have done that, but most of the time I will mark my center, and then I come over here, mark my center, and then I add just a couple pieces of score tape on each side, and then a little bit of my art glitter glue, and that has always sealed my ribbon. I've never had an issue with my tie closures coming off. So there you guys go. And again, that is using Country Craft Creations exclusive Midnight Manor. And I just have to give a quick little plug because they are doing their grand opening of their brand new store in, I think it's West Haven, Utah. It's on Monday the 19th, and I get to go. That's the perks of me flying all over the place. I get to use my points, and I'm going to, and I'm going to shop. Let's be real. But who else is going? Who in Utah? Who's flying in? I'm excited to see who all shows up, but it is Monday the 19th at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I will try to do some lives, but your girl is not good with technology, so it could be comedy though. So, stay tuned. It might be really funny. I'm just terrible at it. But there you guys go. Let me know what you think. If you do like the video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed already, please make sure that you do, so that way you could see future design team projects that I make using Country Craft Creations exclusive papers that you can only get there, as well as some other collections that come available. But definitely just stay tuned, more to come, and thanks for watching. Bye.